Here's a gift for you, $2,000. After giving birth, when my husband and I returned to his parents' house, my mother-in-law handed us an envelope saying it contained a gift of $2,000 as a celebration of the birth. Upon checking its contents, I threw the envelope into the trash. This is how they treat me after enduring days of being demeaned by her and senior employees. What are you doing? Apologize to mom. In a panic, my husband scolded me, but I sharply retorted. Can you say the same after seeing this? Upon checking the contents of the envelope, he glared at his mother with an anger I had never seen before. And then, he made a certain decision. My name is Sarah Miller, 28 years old. I had an arranged marriage with my husband, Alex. Alex, 2 years my senior, is the eldest son of a bakery, raised strictly as the heir, but he's a very calm and kind person. From the first meeting, I was drawn to his kindness. I want to share the beauty and delicate taste of our cakes with people all over the world, that's why I'm a pastry chef. Will you join me in fulfilling this dream? Instead of an engagement ring, he presented me with a cake designed with me in mind, saying this. Moved to tears, he continued. When we're married, Sarah, you'll work as the manager of our shop. Also, we'll have to live with my parents at our family home. Is that okay with you? Living with the in-laws was a condition of our marriage. Marriage to an heir comes with its challenges. But with Alex by my side, everything will surely be okay. This is what I thought, and I accepted his proposal. Thus, we became husband and wife. As promised, after the marriage, we began our life living with his parents in the residence attached to the bakery. Sarah, since you've married into this family, you must be prepared for it. As a manager, make sure to act without any blunders. Yes. From the day I started living with them, my mother-in-law, Kate, immediately started with her strict words. The sweet married life I had dreamt of did not exist in this world. Sarah, how many times do I have to tell you? Remember our traditions properly. As a manager, you need to act more responsibly. Having someone who needs so much attention marry into the family, I feel sorry for the boss. Day after day, I was demeaned by her and a senior female employee, Jade. My father-in-law, not much of a talker, didn't say much, but in his presence, the tension would skyrocket. And I would become so nervous that I'd make mistakes. Seeing me like this, he would sigh blatantly. There was no place in this house where I felt at peace. But I'll work hard to be recognized by everyone soon, and stand beside Alex without feeling ashamed. This feeling alone was what supported me. Then, I discovered I was pregnant. Take good care of yourself and give birth to a fine heir. Starting with Kate, everyone began to be considerate of my condition. At the 5-month pregnancy checkup, upon finding out the gender of the child, I immediately shared the news with my in-laws and Alex during dinner. The baby in my belly is a girl. Everyone's movements halted for a moment. A girl? Ah, a girl, huh? Huh? No words of congratulations came from anyone. Alex, avoiding eye contact with anyone, kept his head down and continued eating his dinner silently. I was taken aback by everyone's reaction. Does the heir have to be a boy? Unable to understand the Miller family's way of thinking, I just shoveled my dinner into my mouth, feeling frustrated. From the next day, everyone's attitudes changed drastically. Pregnancy isn't an illness, don't pamper yourself and make sure to work hard. As soon as they found out the baby was a girl, the demeaning comments and being overworked by Kate and Jade returned. Why can't a girl be the heir to a bakery? It's truly pitiful that my child will be born into a situation with so little celebration. I worry for her well-being. And I firmly resolve to protect her no matter what. Alex, I think you've noticed too. Ever since I married into this family, I've been demeaned every day by your mother and Jade. Their attitudes since finding out the baby is a girl have been truly unbearable. One day, unable to hold back any longer, I finally spoke up to him. He looked troubled. Sarah, I'm sorry. I'm still in training. I don't have the right to go against this family. Please bear with it. If you learn the work faster, I'm sure they will stop saying anything. I'm really happy about our baby, whether it's a boy or a girl. Please take care of yourself. Saying this, he hastily headed to the shower. While he did show concern for my well-being, honestly, I was shocked by his unreliable response. However, I caressed my belly. I can't be discouraged by such things. I'm going to be a mother. I must become strong for the sake of this child. With this renewed determination, I dreamt of the day my baby would be born healthy and endured the harassment and demeaning treatment alone. In the house, I was mainly responsible for preparing dinner. And we had a system where I would pay for the groceries first and then give the receipt to her to get reimbursed. This system meant that she would scrutinize every item on the receipt, making it difficult to buy things I wanted. However, since becoming pregnant, I often craved sour and sweet things. Should I buy it? But I hate getting snide remarks from her too. I debated with myself while shopping, but in the end, I couldn't muster the courage to buy. But one day, I just had to have something sweet. Desperate, after much deliberation, I approached Alex, who was in the workshop. I've been craving something sweet because of the pregnancy. If there are any leftover bits, could you share some with me? Sure, just wait a bit. He, sneaking away from the eyes of the employees, wrapped some cake trimmings in plastic wrap and brought them to me. Thank you. But just then, Kate appeared. What are you doing here, Sarah? Her gaze dropped to my hand. How greedy of you. This is a workshop for artisans. You are not allowed to come and go here from now on. With that, she snatched away the precious trimmings Alex had given me and kicked me out of the workshop. One day, when I went to prepare dinner, I found the fridge crammed with ingredients I had never seen before, like expensive beef. Since I wasn't allowed to use ingredients from the fridge without her permission, I asked her. Can I use the ingredients in the fridge? What are you talking about? Those are for Sienna, who's coming back the day after tomorrow. Don't you dare use them. She coldly retorted. Sienna is Alex's sister. She married into a farming family, and apparently, she's coming back for a visit because her morning sickness has been severe during her 3rd month of pregnancy. Coming back for morning sickness in the 3rd month? Meanwhile, here I am, 7 months pregnant, being told a pregnancy isn't an illness and being worked to the bone. There was a lot I wanted to think about, but the more I thought about it, the more miserable I felt. Shaking off those thoughts, I prepared dinner with other ingredients. The day Sienna came back, Kate was in a particularly good mood from the morning. Kate, who had originally opposed Sienna marrying into a farming family, was overjoyed to have her daughter back home after a long time. Today, I'll make dinner, so Sarah, you can go for a leisurely walk if you like. Unusually, she was kind. Since I rarely had the chance to take a leisurely walk in the evening due to the busy schedule, I decided to take her up on her offer. The sky is so vast. The sky, which I looked up at for the first time in a while, was dyed red and enveloped me in a gentle warmth. When I instinctively placed my hand on my belly, I felt the baby's movements. Mommy is working hard for you. Come out healthy and strong. I whispered this to my baby. What a nice smell. As I returned home, I was greeted by the scent of steaks being grilled. As I was about to enter the living room, I heard voices from inside. Sienna, make sure you eat plenty for the baby's sake. Peeking inside, I saw she laying out a feast in front of Sienna. At the table, my father-in-law and Alex were seated, silently eating their steaks. What about Sarah's portion? Just as he looked up and our eyes met, he asked this. Oh, it's okay. I've made some soup for her. At her reply, Alex said nothing and looked away from me. So, there's no steak for me. Unable to bear it, I quietly made my way to our bedroom without anyone noticing. I'm also pregnant like Sienna, yet no one tells me to eat plenty. Confronted with the reality of being ostracized, I couldn't hold back my tears any longer. Why do I have to be treated like this? Neither I nor my unborn child is welcomed in this house. I just want to leave this place. The tears wouldn't stop flowing. After a while, Alex came in with a cold steak. I sneaked out my portion for you. It's cold, but I'm sorry for making you feel even sadder because my sister came. He apologized, seeming genuinely remorseful. I wish I could stand up to them more. I've always had a hard time dealing with my mom and sister. Mom had a tough time with grandma. So she probably thinks this is just how mother-in-law and daughter-in-law relationships are. Sienna has always been jealous of me for being the pampered eldest son and has been mean to me behind the scenes since we were kids. They're both so stubborn and troublesome, I honestly don't want to deal with them. Your family issues are none of my concern. Though he apologized, I realized that he wouldn't be able to protect me or our child in the future. His unreliability made me feel even more miserable. Despite having no appetite, he urged me to eat the steak. For the sake of our baby, I tearfully forced myself to eat the cold steak. Despite being high-quality meat, I couldn't taste anything. I mechanically chewed and somehow managed to swallow it. Life became even harder after Sienna's arrival. "Sarah, get this for me." Kate didn't hesitate to boss me around, despite my large belly. "Sienna, you should rest until her morning sickness subsides." Meanwhile, she took advantage of being pampered by them and lazed around the house all day. Even though we're both pregnant, and my belly is even bigger. It's frustrating, but all I can do is silently endure for now. "Sarah, I bought some pudding for you." Perhaps feeling sorry for me enduring such harsh treatment, Alex began secretly buying me things I craved, which was a small consolation. One day, I saw Sienna's room filled with luxury baby items and maternity goods from designer brands. I had hesitantly bought a complete set from a cheap store in the suburbs. Both of our children are their grandchildren, so why is there such a difference? I tried not to let it bother me, but it was deeply saddening. Then, on December 20th, I finally gave birth to a girl. Alex was overjoyed, tears streaming down his face. "I'll become fully capable soon and protect you and our daughter." Alex promised me this. Upon returning to their house after being discharged from the hospital, to my surprise, she welcomed me with a smile. "Let me hold her for a bit." I handed the baby over to her, who, having raised 2 children herself, expertly soothed her. Grandchildren are indeed precious, after all. Seeing her behavior, I felt a bit relieved. After a while, she returned the baby to me and took an envelope out of her pocket, handing it to Alex. "This is a gift, $2,000. "What, that much?" I was surprised, but Alex didn't seem too shocked. "Maybe in this family, it's normal to give that amount as a gift." He handed me the envelope without checking its contents, so after placing the baby in the crib, I took it. And I checked the contents, just in case. "What? What is this?" She smirked and looked away from me. "Enough is enough." I threw the envelope into the trash can. "Hey, what are you doing?" "Apologize to Mom." He was flustered. "Can you still say the same after seeing this?" I picked up the envelope I had thrown away and showed its contents to him. Upon seeing the contents, he frowned. Instead of $2,000, the envelope contained receipts and bills for the luxury groceries and maternity items they had prepared for Sienna. "What is this about, Mom?" Even he raised his voice. "It's only natural for the eldest son and his wife to pay for our household expenses." She, unashamed, laid out her absurd logic. "Why should we pay for maternity items and baby goods for Sienna, who left her home for her marriage?" I couldn't stay silent any longer. I decided to leave this house with my child. Then, Alex spoke in a low voice. "I'm leaving this house." "What?" The room went silent, and everyone, including me, looked at him. Alex glared at her with an anger I had never seen before. "What do you take us for?" "I've always been dissatisfied with how you've treated Sarah, how you reacted when you found out our child was a girl. And your constant interference in the shop's management. I thought I'd endure it silently until I became capable of protecting the cake shop as its eldest son. But I've reached my limit. We're leaving this house. We won't take over the shop. Thank you for everything until now." Alex said this and bid farewell to his parents. Stunned by the unexpected turn of events, they were speechless for a while before silently leaving the room. "Sarah, I'm really sorry for everything until now. I will protect you and our child. I've decided to leave this house on my own accord. But will you stay by my side?" Alex, back to his usual gentle self. "Yes. Thank you for protecting us. Let's overcome any difficulties together as a family of 3. The next day, Alex immediately started looking for a new home, and within a week, we began our new life as a family of 3. Our new home was a modest apartment, but for me, it was a blissful space where both my mind and body could relax. See, make sure you eat plenty and get proper rest whenever you can. And to my surprise, our new home was just a 5-minute walk from my parents' house. Really, Alex is such a wonderful person. It's rare to find someone who can openly express their vulnerabilities and ask for help as an adult. According to my mom, Alex had explained everything to my parents the night he decided to leave his family home, apologized, and asked for their support in the future. You can always rely on us. We're also very happy that you're living so close by. Touched by her kindness, I cried. Meanwhile, Kate occasionally contacted Alex, asking him to bring the grandchild for a visit, but Alex only sent pictures of the baby. After discussing it as a couple, we decided it would be best to keep our distance from them for a while, and we haven't given them our new address. Thanks to that, we've been able to live peacefully. Sarah, we're running out of diapers, so I'll go buy some. Alex actively helped with housework and childcare, and we cherished our modest happiness, living humbly each day. I'm thinking of starting my own business. One day, he came to me with a proposal. Even after the path to taking over his family's bakery was closed off, Alex, who had been captivated by the allure of cakes since childhood, hadn't given up on being involved with cakes. His dream, which he shared before we got married, to let people around the world know the beauty and delicate taste of cakes, was still very much alive in his heart. To realize that dream, he decided to start a mail-order cake business. Inspired by him, I too felt a surge of motivation. I wanted to help make his dream a reality. With this in mind, I pondered whether I could utilize the brief experience I had with cake making at my in-laws, finding moments between household chores and childcare to think it through. Look at the cake Daddy made, isn't it beautiful? One day, Alex showed our child a cake he had made. Though our 0-year-old couldn't eat it yet, she giggled and seemed fascinated by the colors of the cake she was seeing for the first time. Seeing this, an idea struck me. What about a cake that even babies could eat? In my mind, I envisioned cute baby smiles overlapping with cakes. When I promptly shared my thoughts with Alex, he embraced my idea, saying, "That's a great idea." Focusing on development, we worked on cakes that didn't use sugar, instead relying on the natural sweetness of ingredients like sweet potatoes, and avoided artificial colors to preserve the gentle hues of the ingredients themselves. Whom we hadn't been in touch with for nearly 2 years. Apparently, after we left, Sienna developed pregnancy-induced hypertension and was hospitalized. Eating too much high-calorie food and high-quality meat provided by them, combined with a lack of exercise, probably wasn't good for her. She was put on strict bed rest and dietary restrictions, leading to a difficult pregnancy. Well, everyone must have been relieved when a healthy boy was born. However, the misfortunes continued, and the family cake shop closed down after Alex left, as it couldn't sustain itself. What happened to your parents after closing the shop? When I asked Alex, it seemed they were living modestly on their pensions. Though we don't have many good memories, they did raise Alex, after all. 2 years had passed since we left the in-laws, and as our anger subsided, we decided to gift each of our in-laws $2,000 for their birthdays. The amount was a nod to the $2,000 she mentioned for the birth celebration. We didn't know if she remembered, but if she did, we hoped it would remind her to reflect on her actions. Later on, Alex received a call informing us that the registered mail with the celebration money had arrived. They were reportedly very pleased. We're not ready to visit them yet, but perhaps time will heal these wounds. As long as we live with pride, things will move in the right direction. With support from my parents, I can focus on cakes alongside Alex, even during this challenging phase of childcare. Mommy, is this my cake? Yes, Rose. Isn't the rose petal beautiful? Do you like it? Delicious. Happy. My daughter touched her cheek with a blissful expression. This cake, developed to melt in the mouth without needing to be chewed, is perfect for a 1-year-old. We created a cute cake modeled after rose petals. Just like our child, I hope this cake becomes something that brings smiles to everyone's faces. Mommy, here, ah. She fed me a piece of the cake. The gentle sweetness melted in my mouth. I love that face, Mommy. With a mouthful of cake, I wished for these moments of happiness to reach people all over the world.